Jag måste säcka upp för att hända för att soppa. Nej. Vad är det? Sir Boris Zilshifter.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special What Was That Called Again? My name is Thomas.
Okay, hold on, wait. Hold on. Sorry. 1 year in, and here we go. In celebration of our 1 year anniversary, welcome, one and all, to a brand new reverse. What was that called again? My name is Will.
And my name is Will.
No, wait.
My name's Thomas.
Yes, it is. This is a movie podcast where I, at least this time, have selected 3 movies, and I will read them. I read their IMDb plot descriptions. Sorry, I'm not used to doing this. To Thomas, who will then have to try and match the plot descriptions to the correct title. Thomas knew nothing about this in advance. In fact, he's probably upset about me right now because he spent all this time finding 3 movies for this recording.
Yeah, I'm going to delete my notes
Well,
again.
We might need them for the 53rd episode.
No.
I thought it might be nice to switch things up for our 1 year anniversary. I did write all of this down, so if it sounds like I'm reading a script, I definitely am. Are you excited to be in my shoes for once?
No.
Great! Okay. I've been so excited for this all week. I worked on this for several weeks at least, because I have a challenge as far as you've seen more movies than me, and have a better memory of movies.
This explains last night you texting me, you're like, I'm more excited for this episode than the other one.
I was really excited last night. Okay, with all that, we will try to stick to the format as we've always had now for at least roughly a year. And with that, we're going to go right into drink check.
Oh.
I'll let you go first.
Good call. Yeah, I'm having a old throwback to a classic drink of mine. I'm having a delicious Guinness beer, and
nice.
I am sipping it out of my official branded, what was that called again, drinking glass.
I appreciate that you chose that glass over the actual Guinness glass.
Me too.
It just shows your, who you're loyal to.
Yeah, 1 year in, I'm going to use this for the first time.
But hey, they're really nice glasses. I use mine a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I am drinking. Well, first off, I am officially 1 full can of Celsius in.
Oh, fuck.
1 full can.
Yeah, I'm also like a 24-ounce truck stop cup of coffee in as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you
I'm
pregame
like,
with some coffee.
Yeah, I'm buzzing pretty good.
So I've only done. I think I told this story on the pod before. I the first time I ever had Celsius, I drank the whole can and I got the shakes and jitters. And we're back, bud. So this will be fun because basically I was waiting for you to get ready, and I'd already drank half of it, and I was like, I should go ahead and just finish this, and then
we had a classic pre-recording Skype conversation about current events and such.
So that was where I finished the last half, was during that, because I was still feeling a little lethargic after work. This is a late Friday night or Friday evening. It's not late, so I'm 1 Celsius in. So I will probably have to really focus on not speed rushing this this episode, and then also I have tahined my rim one more time.
Oh, shit.
And this time I'm going with a lemonade and white rum mix. So I really enjoy the tahini on the rim. I've had this shaker of tahini for several years, and I used it on one thing when I first bought it. Didn't really like it. I don't even recall what it was that I made. I just didn't really like tahini, and so I shelved it and kind of put it away. And then for some reason, whenever it was last episode, something like that. Listeners will know better than us. I decided to tahini my rim for the first time, and it was really fucking good. So I kind of like this now.
Yeah, I think it would have been good, despite it not being a Wednesday, if for the 1 year you would have celebrated with a vodka rum.
Yes, I know. Well, there's always episode 53. This is episode 52, so technically it comes out, if people were to look back, this comes out before our official 1 year anniversary, but 52 episodes, 52 weeks in a year. That's what we're going with. This is our what I said earlier, New Year's Eve celebration of sorts, as far as we've completely finished a cycle of weeks. So,
absolutely, yeah. One thing really quick that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to do a quick international shout out because I have been tracking our statistics, and over the last couple of weeks, our podcast has exploded. For some reason, everywhere. We'll try to assume that it's real humans listening to us, but versus the previous 14 days, our numbers are up 917%.
Which is a lot. I mean, that goes from like what, 7 to like 28, I think.
Right. We have listeners across the globe here from like Sweden, Brazil, China, and such. So if anyone out there is a human listening to the show, send us an email to wwtcapod@protonmail.com. We would also love it, especially if you would record like a voice memo into your phone and then email that to us, and we will play it on the air.
Yeah.
Roast us, tell us how much you love the show, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and even though we technically, Thomas and I both have access to that email, and even though this is our first and probably only reverse, what was that called again, episode, Thomas is the only person who really actually reads those emails. So if you want to like suggest titles for me to typically have to guess, that's fine. I won't see those. If you put something in the audio that you only want Thomas to hear for whatever reason, you can also put that in the email and I won't hear it. So if
you want to talk shit about how much you hate Will on this show, I won't tell him.
If you even want to write us and say that the reverse concept is shit, I'm fine with that too.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Thomas will tell me that one, but and just for anyone who reads the transcript of the podcast, I just want to make sure that we get this this email address correctly, because I noticed whenever taking these notes, I had to go back and read the transcript, to figure out like all your segments, even though I listened to you 50 some times now. Do it, I kind of forgot. But anyway, so it's wwtcapod@protonmail.com. WW. I think one of the transcripts had more than 2 W's on it, so I wanted to make sure that was clear.
God damn it, Apple.
I know. Okay, now it's time for me to play the game and the host to play my part. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, great. I really am worried about this. So, listeners, for all 7 of you who've been around for more than 2 episodes, Thomas does put a lot of work into this. However, he does have it slightly easier than what I've had it for this one episode, for the simple fact that Thomas knows a lot about film. He's seen a lot of film, and he also knows that I haven't, and I also forget really easily. So my disadvantage is that Thomas's memory is better than mine when it comes to film, and Thomas has probably at this point easily seen more movies than I ever have. And I really hope that out of these 3 films that I've picked today, I didn't also ruin a future episode that you already had planned.
And I want to say that my difficult part in this will be that, unlike Will, I think I am more so a quiet thinker.
Oh, definitely.
So
definitely,
I'm gonna have to like
force yourself to think out loud.
Fill in the empty space, and kind of vocalize my thoughts, which isn't something that I am.
That's okay.
Known for doing, but I will do my best.
Pauses,
yeah. So that'll be my struggle.
Yeah. So really force yourself to, as I said in the early stages of this podcast, to do your math out loud.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. I sound like an idiot. 1, because I am. 2, because that's really like a stream of conscious. Like I just try to get the words out of my brain, so that way at least I can hear them, and then maybe I'll convince myself, or as often I do, I end up just changing my mind because I hear it out loud. So don't be afraid to kind of do that. basically just pretend to be me. Pretend to be an idiot if you have to. But that's really, like I said, I'm going to be shocked if you haven't seen at least one of these films.
I don't know who. That reminds me of a movie where this guy went to a place.
Remember, there's two key phrases. That feels familiar. That sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar. Okay. And they're distinctly very different.
Okay. So again, like I said, you have the slight advantage when picking these usually. I'm shit at this that's why I played your role that you're playing now all the time. For this episode, if you're ready, I will be giving you films in reverse chronological order. Right? And we're going to start off with a film from 1988.
Oh, that's one of my top 6 favorite years.
Okay, good. The other 5 are all 2014. Okay. The synopsis from IMDb reads as follows. Isolated by his strange parents, Leon finds solace in an imaginary friend, which happens to be an anatomy doll from his father's doctor's office. Unfortunately, the doll begins to take over Leon's life and his sister's life as well.
Okay. 88.
88, you got that? Yeah.
This dude has no friends.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, my dad has this anatomy doll.
Yeah.
That'll be my buddy.
Okay.
And then the doll starts to say, actually, I'm a real boy.
I mean, basically. Yeah. So try to recap the synopsis as I read it, if you can.
Yeah.
I can always read it again if you need to.
Leon, I'm obviously not going to be going verbatim. Leon is fairly isolated, doesn't have many friends. He begins to befriend his father's anatomy doll.
Okay, yep.
And the anatomy doll begins to take on a life of its own.
Sort of. So I'm gonna be picky about this. So the key thing that you missed in the beginning is Leon is isolated by his strange parents. Okay, he does find that some imaginary friend in this his father's anatomy doll, and the doll takes over Leon's life and his sister's life.
Oh, so it's like it starts going to school for him,
sure,
and doing his homework, and then also going to her classes at the same time.
Possibly. I will say I have not seen this film, so I don't know, but that is a possibility.
I don't think I have either.
Does it feel familiar or sound familiar?
It doesn't. No.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, one down then. I have at least a third of a show. Okay, are you ready for the second one?
88. Strange parents.
Yep.
Imaginary friend with a doll.
Yep.
Takes over his life as well as his sister's life.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Your second film comes from the year 1986, and this synopsis actually comes from Letterboxd.
One of my favorite years of music. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that is a great year for music. You're exactly right. Okay, this is from Letterboxd.
Okay.
And it reads as follows. A precocious girl, her nasty parents, 2 punk rock losers, and a weak-kneed salesman inadvertently become the guest of 2 ghoulish senior citizens in their dark, haunted mansion.
Okay. So at first, whenever you got to the old people?
2 ghoulish senior citizens? Yeah. Ghoulish? Yeah.
Ghoulish senior citizens. So the first thing that came to mind for me on that one, which isn't correct, I know for a fact, because it wasn't a haunted mansion. The first thing that came to mind for me was Motel Hell.
Oh, okay.
Because that was 2 ghoulish senior citizens, but they were harvesting humans in their garden and turning them into meat and selling them on the street.
Was that 86 by any chance?
No, but it was in the 80s.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's definitely not that. So we have
a bunch of people.
A precocious girl.
Yes.
Like a punk rock band, or was
2 punk rock losers?
2 punk rock losers. Oh, so they're they're in the punk scene, but they're very uncool.
They're
still
just like groupies. Yeah, they're not even the band.
And they're also like a decade past the punk rock movement at its height.
They're hanging on
that
to
explains
it.
it.
Yeah.
So are they losers? Are they just losers, or are they specifically within the punk community losers?
That I can't answer. This is also another one I have not seen.
Okay.
They're just two punk rock losers.
So basically, it is this girl, these punk losers. Was there someone else involved?
There are several people more, yes.
Okay, so a group of people.
Her nasty parents.
Yeah.
And
read the whole thing again, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
A precocious girl, her nasty parents, two punk rock losers, a weak-kneed salesman.
Weak-kneed salesman.
Specifically weak-kneed, yeah. Inadvertently...
do you want to buy this washing machine? And his legs are all shaky.
It's okay if you don't. Yeah, so all of those people inadvertently, by the way, become guests of two ghoulish senior citizens in their dark, haunted mansion.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Are you ready for your third film?
I am ready for the third film.
Okay. The third film in this reverse episode, third and final film, comes from the year 1978.
Okay. Good year. Yeah.
The IMDb synopsis reads as follows. A ventriloquist is at the mercy of his vicious dummy while he tries to renew a romance with his high school sweetheart.
Oh, wow. So his dummy is like, no, you're not going to be with her.
I mean, I'll let you know, I have seen this movie, and yes.
Oh, come on, Dan, let me be with her. Hey, Buster, I don't think so.
Verbatim, basically. So you have seen this one.
Yeah. So this is this dude is read it again.
Okay. It's fine. Hey, I asked for this multiple times, and it's just part of it. So this is 1978 again.
Yep.
A ventriloquist is at the mercy of his vicious dummy.
Yeah.
While he tries to renew a romance with his high school sweetheart.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. At the mercy of his vicious dummy. Okay. So let me start from the top here.
Okay.
So we're gonna have the first one from 1988.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was this isolated. There was a word for it. He was isolated with his strange parents.
There you go. By his strange parents. Yep.
By his strange parents. He befriends his father's anatomy dummy.
Yes.
And the anatomy dummy begins to take over his life as well as his sister's.
Correct. 1988. Yes.
And then we're going to go into 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was a loquacious girl.
Yes, it was.
Her two parents, two punk rock loser friends, and a weak-kneed salesman who inadvertently become guests at a ghoulish senior citizen couple's haunted mansion.
Yes. I will say that it does not say that the two punk losers are friends. They're just two punk losers.
There.
And also her parents are specifically nasty. But yes, you got that one.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then the final one is 78.
Yes, sir.
Excellent year for movies. This one was... why is the most recent one the one that I'm having the most trouble
I do this every episode.
Don't tell me. This one was...
Do you want the action verb?
I think so.
At the mercy.
Yeah. Oh, at the mercy of his ventriloquist dummy. This guy tries to renew a romance with a high school sweetheart, but the ventriloquism dummy is very against that.
Sure, yeah.
Which is obviously paraphrased.
The vicious dummy.
Yeah.
The ventriloquist is trying to renew a romance with his high school sweetheart. Okay, you got it. So that's all three.
I think I'm going to invite Mary over tonight, Dan. What do you think of that? I think that sounds like a terrible idea. Where the hell am I going to sleep? You have the couch, Dan.
Where's your other hand going to be? All right, are you ready for titles?
Yeah, title me.
Okay. So this is where I'm really nervous because I'm afraid that one of these is going to jog a memory somewhere. But it seemed like you didn't have any feeling or memory.
Yeah,
of these.
I mean, that one, I would say felt familiar.
Which one?
That I associate that with just being Motel Hell.
Oh, right, yeah.
which I know is not correct because
Sure.
it's different.
Okay.
But the other ones did not feel or sound familiar to me.
Okay, then I feel pretty good about this episode then. Okay. Your first title is Magic.
Okay, yes, I am aware of this.
I figured so. Okay. You ready for your second title? But then the fun part is I mean, because I've recognized titles before, and it's not so much just recognizing the title; it's trying to remember which one of the synopsis best fits.
No, I'm pretty positive about that one.
Oh, damn it, okay.
I'm ready for the next one.
Oh, damn it! Okay,
I believe so. I mean, there's a chance that I'm incorrect on
the
this.
second
of
title
course,
could throw you,
but
you never know.
But that one does feel and sound very familiar.
I bet it does. Okay, your second title is Dolls.
Okay. Yep.
Damn it. Okay. do you recognize that title as well?
Yes, and yes, I do recognize that title. I have not seen Dolls, but I do
it's too late to call a hat trick, by the way. You cannot call a hat trick at this point.
I know. Yeah, I won't. I won't. I absolutely did not have that kind of confidence.
Okay, good.
But carry on.
Now you
yes.
do. I can sense the confidence scale is growing.
Yes.
Okay. Your third title is Pin.
Pin.
P-I-N.
Now that is P-I-N. That is the first one that does not sound or feel familiar, but by the process of elimination, I have a feeling I might know where that goes.
Okay, well then let me hear you work this out here.
So, I have a vague image that popped into my head for Magic as soon as you said it.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, obviously.
We're going to find out.
But immediately what came into my head was the poster art with the picture of a ventriloquist dummy. And that is what I thought of when I heard Magic. And so I am going to, unless I talk myself out of it, which I don't think so.
Can you describe the poster for me just so I can see where you're going with this?
It's not going to be very interesting, I don't think. The only thing that I can picture the font for Magic being in like the bottom third of the poster, and then the image of a ventriloquist dummy with like the brown hair, the big bug eyes, and the mouth that moves, like
the mouth.
The mouth that moves. That's what the tagline is for this movie.
So you're describing
a mouth that moves. Yes, a head that has a face, and it looks like a doll.
Okay, specifically
a dummy, to be more specific. That's what came into my head. So I'm going to, for now, put Magic with the 1978 film.
Okay.
About this ventriloquist with his dummy who is very not into him rekindling his vicious dummy.
There you go.
Who is very not into him rekindling his old high school romance.
Okay.
And then you said the title Dolls, and I similarly had an image of a poster pop into my head with the title Dolls, and
okay, I bet that's on there. Yeah.
A group of dolls, one of which is closer to the foreground than the others, and the others are kind of in the background. I think whenever you tell us more about these films, it's going to click in my head, but I'm pretty sure Dolls is from a filmmaker that I know, and I have not seen it. At least I don't think. Dolls might be it might be a Stuart Gordon film.
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Sure.
I may have seen it before. I may have watched it on Shudder a couple of years ago, and that is the 1986 film about the loquacious girl.
Precocious.
Precocious, my bad. Loquacious. I think I said loquacious last time.
You did. Well, yeah, but you said it specifically about the whole synopsis, I thought. Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, that girl, her parents.
Nasty parents.
Her nasty parents. Random, not associated, two punk rock losers.
Sure.
And a weak-kneed salesman.
That's important.
Who is so the two punk rock losers are just like wearing Ramones t-shirts and they have like spiky hair
Yeah.
and they're both trying to make friends with the other people, but the other people are like, just get away from me.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of like just stuck on their own, and the weak-kneed salesman just keeps he just keeps trying to like sell things to them, but he's just like, I mean, you don't have to.
You don't have to buy it if you don't want it.
I have these pills. You could. They'll make it. You'll have fun. But I mean, I don't know. It's probably stupid.
Yeah. It's dumb.
And they are inadvertently, like trapped. Is it?
It just says
what
guest.
Is it? They're guests at these this senior citizen, these ghoulish seniors mansion. And then that leaves, by process of elimination, Pin, P-I-N, to go with the 1988 film, which was about this isolated by his strange parents.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? Like Louis or some shit? Leon makes friends with their anatomy dummy, his dad's anatomy dummy. And the dummy proceeds to take over his life as well as the life of his sisters. I'm going to go ahead and lock those three in.
So don't you just hate the feeling of, you think, like I think you said you saw, what was it, Dolls or something on Shudder? Don't you just hate the feeling of, you think you've seen something, you're pretty confident of it, but there's still like that voice and that voice of doubt that's just like, maybe it isn't.
Partially it's like, this is being recorded, and like I'm gonna feel really dumb if I'm this confident, and then it's wrong.
Welcome to my world.
And so you want to like kind of, so you're confident in your head, but you kind of want to talk yourself down a little bit just in case.
Just that little bit of safety net. Just you don't want to be too cocky about it. Yeah,
you're like, I'm pretty confident about this, but I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah.
Okay,
that's how I feel.
All right. So, are you ready to know how bad or well you did?
For the people who can't see us, I'm going to do the Will.
Rubbing your temples.
Like, hunch over, put my hands on my temples, and just, okay, give it to me.
Okay, here we go. Your first attempt.
Yeah.
On this one, the first and maybe last, seemingly, reverse. What was that called again? Episode. Our 1 year anniversary episode. Or 1 year around the cycle.
Yeah.
Show. You got all three correct.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good?
Oh yeah, I'm a 100% then.
That's right.
So far.
You are batting 1,000 exactly. So you can retire right now. Okay, I'm gonna let you know a little bit more about these films.
Yeah, tell us.
I'm gonna try to be as fast as I can because I actually do have a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start off with 1988's Pin from director Sandor Stern. In terms of directing, Sandor is mostly known for doing TV movies or directing episodes of television series. I do believe from my research that this is Sandor's only theatrical release, Pin, at least from a directing standpoint. Some projects of note that he has done for TV, episodes of Early Edition, episodes of Touched by an Angel, as well as the TV movie John and Yoko, A Love Story from '85. And yeah, that was really like a weird, but also it gets stranger. Sandor Stern also directed Amityville Horror: The Evil Escapes for TV from '89. Memories Never Die from '82, as well as other TV movies. '82's Memories Never Die is his highest rated on IMDb directorial project. Or one of the 2 or 3 highest. It was kind of tied, but still very few that were rated that high. He's also a writer, and he is a writer of the original The Amityville Horror.
Oh, so he was like a good choice to bring back. Yeah,
exactly. As he's also the writer of this film, Pin. Pym stars David Hewlett, Hewlett, as Leon, the son who befriends the Anatomy doll. It also stars Cynthia Preston and Terry O'Quinn. Terry O'Quinn, you might know as the old guy from Lost, John Locke.
And the stepfather.
Yeah, there you go. One bit of trivia from IMDb is that in the film, David Hewitt's character Leon is watching the movie Scanners while on a date, and then later David would star in Scanners 2.
Cool.
With a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes at Rated R, Pin is available to stream on Amazon and seemingly for free on YouTube. Yeah, I do. It was. I don't believe I've seen this movie, but I definitely. I think maybe even you and I have talked about this movie. But I remember when I was looking up this information, I remembered for some reason that I had seen Terry O'Quinn in the role of the stepfather as like a still image, maybe, or even just like a clip. And I was like, oh shit, I do actually know what this movie is, but I haven't seen it. Okay. Our next
Excellent movie. Yeah.
The second film was Dolls, from 86, directed, as you called it, by the well-known Stuart Gordon.
Yeah.
Director From Beyond 86, Reanimator 85, Castle Freak 95, list goes on. Gordon is also known for his writing, as we all know. 93.
So whenever I said Stuart Gordon, were you like, oh, well, fuck?
No, because, listen, like I said, from the get-go, I was thinking that you were going to at least, once the titles came out, I was like, he's going to have at least, maybe not seen these, but I figured that even just doing the research for this show, you might have passed over some of these. And then Stuart Gordon, I was like, he's going to get this. But I was hoping that the other two films having dolls in the description. Well, actually, that was actually one of the reasons why I changed dolls synopsis from IMDb to Letterboxd, is that the IMDb synopsis actually specifically mentions dolls, but it also mentions that the ghoulish old couple are magical. So I was kind of hoping that magic might, get played there, but I was like, no, dolls is going to be too obvious if I do that, so I'm just going to get rid of dolls altogether. Anyway, Stuart Gordon, Body Snatchers, the story and characters for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, as well as directorial projects all before that. Dolls is listed on IMDb as being from 86, but it also states that Dolls' wide release wasn't until May of 87. So the 86 date comes from its debut in Italy at the MIFED, M-I-F-E-D film market. So that might be a little weird, but technically Dolls debuted just days after the wide release of From Beyond. Like literally 3 days after the wide release.
My favorite movie of his.
Yeah, it's great, yeah. Dolls was actually, however, shot before From Beyond, and it actually uses the same sets. Apparently the delay in the wide release of Dolls was due to the post-production effects needed for the doll itself. Doll stars Ian Patrick Williams and Carolyn Purdy Gordon, both of whom Stuart Gordon has worked with in Reanimator. Purdy Gordon is, of course, Stuart's wife, and she was also in From Beyond. Another star, Carrie Lorraine, was given the introducing credit in the beginning of Doll's opening sequence, despite her having played a role in Poltergeist 2, also from 86. But this is possibly due to her having shot this film first, and then it got delayed in a year. Dolls was written by Ed Naha, who most recently did 2012's Noah and 2007's The Ten Commandments.
Well, that's good for him, right?
Well, yeah. But I mean, so that seems a little, again, it's almost like the Touched by an Angel evening early edition credits before. But Ed Naha made more sinful movies in his past, including Troll, Spellcaster from 88, Chud 2, Beyond, Bud the Chud in 89. Lastly, here as a little fun fact, the dolls in Dolls were a combination of puppets, marionettes, stop-motion animation, and animatronics. And this complexity is, especially where the dolls attack everyone, spoiler alert, made for the film being delayed, basically. So much so that it was so complex that the strings of the marionettes and the hands of the puppeteers needed to be hidden with clever lighting. And also in editing, they went in and used a magic marker and literally magic markered over the strings on the film. to edit out the strings and hands. Yeah, that's fun.
Pre-CG days.
Right?
Yeah.
With a runtime of 1 hour and 17 minutes, rated R, Dolls can be found on Pluto, as well as being available for rent on Amazon, at least at the time of this recording. So yeah, Stuart Gordon. I mean, I knew as soon as I said Dolls that I was like, he's going to get this one. You can't not know Stuart Gordon is.
That was one of the things where just the synopsis didn't really make anything come into my head, but as soon as you said the title, I like images from the movie flooded back in.
I will go back and say you did very accurately describe the poster for Magic, which we'll get to in a second for the notes. But the poster for Dolls, at least the one I found, is a singular doll, and I think your mind is misremembering the hands of the doll being dolls in the background. But it's just it's like a singular doll. Anyway, finally. The last film was 87's Magic. Did you say you had seen this, or you just know about it?
I've just known about it. Yeah.
And this is the one I watched, and this is actually what predicated this whole episode because I was blown away. Magic was directed by Lord Richard Attenborough.
Hey,
yeah,
nice.
Right. So this ventriloquist horror film is directed by the old man who played the old man in Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Richard Attenborough is, of course, a well-known filmmaker. His notable films include A Bridge Too Far, Gandhi, Cry Freedom, Chaplin, as well as several others. Attenborough is...
things nobody's ever seen.
Right. Yeah. He's also a notable producer and actor, of course. His younger brother is David Attenborough, the naturist guy, the nature historian, BBC. Magic was Attenborough's fourth film and was his first to receive an R rating. It's written by, and this is where like the pedigree of this film goes up even more. It's written by William Goldman, which if you don't recognize that name, I bet you know the films. His screenplays include Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Stepford Wives of 75, All the President's Men, 76, Marathon Man, A Bridge Too Far, The Princess Bride, which he also wrote the novel for, and also an adaptation of Misery in 1990.
Hashtag hack.
Right? Yeah, he doesn't know. Yeah, apparently he can write. Because he also not only did the screenplay for Magic, he also wrote the novel of which the screenplay is based on. So that was kind of cool. Magic, and this is I watched this movie as part of my 61 Days of Horror. I hadn't heard about it for some reason. Well, not because I'm me. And I just picked it because it looked interesting. But then I saw who was like in the cast, and I was like, holy shit. So, Magic stars the talented and beautiful Anne Margaret, Burgess Meredith, who is also beautiful and talented, as well as Ed Lautner and E.J. Andre. And
beautiful and talented.
Right, all beautiful and talented people, yes. And the one Sir Anthony Hopkins in the leading role of Corky, the ventriloquist.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
He'd like to have you for dinner.
I have comments about that. Hopkins received a BAFTA for Best Actor.
Oh, nice.
Or, sorry, a BAFTA nomination for Best Actor, as well as his first Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Motion Picture for this film. I think, this wasn't in any facts, this is just my opinion. I think one of the driving factors behind those nominations may have been the fact that he also studied ventriloquism and learned magic for the film. He learned how to project his voice and manipulate the dummy called Fats.
Not Dan.
Yeah, not Dan. It was close though. 4 letters, right? Oh, Fats is like this. But Fats was specifically created to look like Hopkins. In the poster, you can sort of see that, but whenever they're side by side, it's very clear. And whenever Hopkins took the dummy home to practice with, he wound up being so unnerved by it that he threatened to throw Fats into a canyon if someone didn't come get it immediately.
Okay.
This was taken so seriously.
Put it in the other room. You're going to sleep.
No, throw it into a canyon. Attenborough actually had to go to Hopkins' house to calm him down before he threw it in a canyon or whatever.
When I cast you in this picture, I didn't know you'd be such a pussy.
I spared no expense. Gene Wilder was actually the original choice.
That would be great.
Both writer and then director Attenborough wanted Wilder to play Corky. But however, the producer I didn't get his name, sorry. The producer refused the idea of Wilder because Wilder was a comedian and the film was had a serious nature, and the producer didn't think that would work together.
He's a comedian. He can only be funny.
Right, yeah. With a runtime of 1 hour and 47 minutes, rated R, Magic can be found for free literally everywhere. Freevee, Plex, Roku Channel, Tubi, as well as streaming on AMC Plus, Peacock, and Amazon Prime. So like I said, I saw this movie, which led me to want to do this whole show. Really, I wanted to talk about this movie on the show, and I didn't want to just talk about the movie. So I was like, well, I got to find other films and try to do a reverse. So that this movie really, spawned it. I didn't know the whole Gene Wilder connection until I did the research for this. But as I was watching this, I did tell a friend how easily I could see, like, if they were to redo this movie, like how easily, well, not now, of course, but like maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I could easily see Robin Williams in place of Anthony Hopkins. Because of how Hopkins plays the role of Corky. He just embodies lunatic so well.
Well, like Robin Williams was a comedian. He can't do a serious
I know,
role
right?
Like that.
Clearly, yeah. But I guess, and that was before I said that was before I knew the whole Gene Wilder connection. So clearly the producer would have been against that.
Yeah.
But it was just, I mean, we think of Hopkins in the Lecter role and it just being so good, but side by side, I found Corky to be a more complex character and a creepier character. Magic was really just great.
Hopkins also great in David Lynch's The Elephant Man.
Yes, yeah,
and a more kind of like just a normal guy kind of role.
Yeah, normal guy, not weird
normal guy role.
Murderer. Yeah. Okay.
In the script, I'm sure it says he's a normal guy.
Yeah, and we joked in the beginning about you doing Dan, but actually Fat's voice shooting down the character. That does actually happen several times, and there's a sense of like maybe jealousy, and then there's also the reality of the situation in that the dummy gets Corky to do things that once those things come to light, there's no way this man could ever have a life in public as well. At the very least, having a functional relationship, right? It gets really dark. Like I said, I mean, like I had never heard about this film, and it was reminding me of Joker in a way. It was reminding me of well, not necessarily the film Silence of the Lambs, but at least like the insanity that the Lecter character has, right? There's like, the whole multiple personality thing. It was just really good. So I really recommend Magic if you haven't seen it. It was great.
Would it make a good double feature with Lars and the Real Girl?
Ooh, yeah, possibly. I mean, yeah, maybe. Because there are moments in the film where it, there are times at least where I don't know if this is intentional or just me at the time watching it, I fell into this, but I kind of started to question, is Fats possessed? Is Fats real? Is Fats just being manipulated by a crazy person? Like these kind of these different, like it, again, at least for me at that viewing, maybe other people will think differently, but there were times where like you start to wonder, it's like, who is really in control here? Whose reality are we actually in? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So with all that information, it's now time for you to rate these as based on the IMDb star user rating.
Oh gosh. Yeah. This is where I will not do as well.
I never do. So don't worry. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of talent.
Yes.
At stake here. We have some BAFTA and a Golden Globe nomination, which I think is going to bump Magic up on the scale.
Okay.
We have a TV director whom you've already stated this other TV movie was the highest rated thing that he had done. So my spread is definitely going to be, without giving the ratings quite yet. First, the spread is definitely going to be, or the order rather, is going to be Magic, Dolls, and then Pin. I'm gonna say magic.
That's 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say magic. Oh gosh. I might even. I'm thinking high 6 or a low 7. So I'm gonna kind of lean more towards the generous side and kind of split the difference in my head.
Okay.
78 horror film. So I'm sure audiences today probably are like, "Oh, this is fucking cheesy." I'm sure this is a movie that probably played better in 78. Like people who are into film.
Well, and I will also say too, purposely to sway you, I would have been honest about this film if I thought it was cheesy.
Yeah.
There were other aspects of it that it wasn't just Hopkins' performance that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole film.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna give this one a 7.1.
For
I'm
magic.
gonna give correct. I'm gonna give Dolls a 6.2.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna give Pin a 5.2.
Okay.
And that's my ranking.
Okay. Here we go. This is based off of the IMDb user rating, of course, and this is as of this recording, coming in third position from 13,213 user ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Dolls has a 6.3.
Oh,
so
wow.
You were close. You were like 0.1 off of that one.
Yeah.
Third place.
Spread's definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely did some damage with Pin.
Yeah.
Second place with only 5,488 user ratings is Pin at 6.5.
Very good.
And that leaves, of course, Magic number 1, 6.8 out of 10 with almost 14,000 user ratings. So
I was very close to saying 6.9 on that one, but
nice.
I bumped it up a little bit to 7.1 or whatever I said.
Yeah, whatever. You were close though. I mean, that was close.
Do we have a tag me?
We do. Tag me.
Tag me.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We do have tags. I'll be brief. I've only got down a few tags. I can look up more if you want me to, but I just wrote these down as they stuck out. So if you want me to look up other films, I can totally do that. This is for Pin. Tags for Pin. And these are under the plot detail section of IMDb. Mm-hmm. We have been assuming that users submit these and they allow other films to be connected with similar plot details. So for Pin, we have Evil Doll.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Anatomical dummy, which is going to be right.
Yeah.
In the synopsis there, unplanned pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Now we're getting spicy.
By whom? Whom was it unplanned? And then also, finally, we have Woodpile.
Did this anatomy doll rape the sister?
I have no idea. I've not seen this film.
It somehow impregnate her?
It did say that it took over her life in some way.
What if the anatomy doll is the one that got pregnant?
What if?
That would be unplanned. Okay.
What if the weird parent, the mom?
The woodpile is the aborted anatomy doll, baby.
The woodpile, yes. So yeah, just a reminder, these have been added by IMDb users, so they might not be accurate. We have no idea. I didn't look at thumbs up or thumbs down when I wrote these down. Okay, now on to dolls. We have inanimate objects comes to life. That's one tag.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Stabbed in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Ghost pushing a baby carriage.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
And surprise ending. Ooh, yeah, right. I guess the ghost pushing a baby carriage comes after the other film's unplanned pregnancy.
Well, and that could be the surprise ending.
It could be. It could be. Okay, finally for Magic, we have ventriloquist dummy, obviously. Psychological disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Jewish theatrical agent.
Okay.
It's a major plot bang there.
Gotta make sure we know he's Jewish.
And finally, reference to Dolly Parton.
Oh. Well,
It plays
is
a
there
big-
like a big bosom joke?
Actually, maybe, I think. I can't remember that part, but I think you're actually right about that. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely am curious about Penn with the unplanned pregnancy.
Yeah.
Dolls. Just I haven't seen it. I already want to see it because it's Stuart Gordon. I haven't.
Yeah.
But if the reference to Dolly Parton doesn't make you want to watch Magic, I really don't know how else I can sell this film. I really don't.
Yeah, you can go watch 9 to 5 and see her, or you can get a reference to her large breasts.
There you
in
go.
This film.
Potentially, and you have to find out who says that.
Yeah, and why?
Yeah, and why? Yeah. All right. Now it's time for our favorite segment, of course, and this is actually one I have been dreading the most because I know what this means. But it's now time for quote time. All right, this is where I have selected a quote from one of our films. And remind me, did you say you have seen any of these?
I've seen Dolls.
You have seen Dolls. Okay,
Yep.
That changes things. Drastically. Okay, because the truth is I selected multiple quotes just in case you had seen any of these films. But maybe you don't remember the quote that I might select.
Probably not. I mean, I don't think I remember any dialogue from that film.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say I'm going to select a quote from that movie because obviously it'd be clear what I have selected. But anyways, I have selected one as submitted by users to IMDb from the quote section. I'm going to read you the quote, and Thomas will have to decide which film the quote belongs to. Usually, I assign you a role, so I assume you're going to do that to me. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you like me to
Do
read?
we have
this
one
quote?
line from one character, or is it multiple?
Yes. Sorry, they're all of my options. I will say are one quote or one line from one character.
Okay. I have been very eagerly wanting to hear you deliver a quote in the style of a ventriloquist doll.
Oh, do I have to, can I move my mouth?
Yeah,
I guess I am the doll, right? Okay,
So
okay, yeah.
It's a ventriloquist doll who is incredibly upset that the ventriloquist who controls you went out on a date with this woman, and he just arrived home 10 minutes ago, and he just picked you up once he returned, and he's really excited and he's really happy, but you are very jealous and you are very unhappy, and you had told him not to go on this date.
Okay, let me just try to boil this down. So I am the ventriloquist dummy, and I am upset that my handler went out on a date from which the handler just returned.
Yes, and a date which you had instructed him not to go on prior.
Okay, so I'm upset at him for not listening to me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm upset and jealous.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this with a straight face. Your quote is as follows from IMDb. I will not have my sister as a tramp.
Okay, well, I definitely got this movie wrong, I would say.
Why do you say that?
That's the ventriloquist dummy voice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this certainly seems as if it is from the film Pin. I am gonna, because this is the only one, at least that I'm aware of, that has a sister. Based on the descriptions. I mean, any of these obviously could have a sister, but the only one that I am aware of definitely having a sister is Pin. This could definitely be fucking Leon talking to the anatomy doll, who is like, let me impregnate her.
Oh, God. I forgot about that.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
what would you like to know?
Pin. Yeah.
So you're going to confirm it's Pin?
I'm going to confirm, but I'm going to confirm it, but I'm going to also condition my confirmation by stating that I'm assuming if you picked this quote that mentions his sister, I'm going to just guess that you probably assumed I would go for Pin because it mentions the sister in the synopsis. So I'm going to guess that I'm going to assume.
Double blind, double bluff.
I think we have a double blind, double bluff here. I'm going to assume that it is not Pin, but I'm going to guess that it's Pin.
Okay, but I need a confirmation.
Pin.
Is it Pin? Okay, it's Pin.
Yep.
Okay, but you're okay if you're wrong, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
I'm betting I'm wrong, but I'm guessing it's Pin.
Okay, fine. If you're going to bet you're wrong, I want, and this won't count against you, but if you're going to bet that you're wrong but going to say a different answer, then I at least want you to pick what one you think it is. So you think it's Pin. But
sure.
What one, if you are wrong, which one do you think it is?
So my backup to give me a 66% chance of being correct is going to be Dolls.
Okay.
But I do think Pin.
Okay, so you think Pin, but you also think you got it wrong, and then it's Dolls. All right, here we go. So the line, "I will not have my sister as a tramp," is given by Leon from Pin.
Hey,
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Thank God.
Of course, you didn't get the character right that I had to do, but I think that was just for your own enjoyment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're already onto something. Pin has this weird tag of the unplanned pregnancy.
Yes.
You already kind of assume that it was the doll talking to the sister.
That's what I like to imagine. So what? So in today's creative segment, Will, what is who says? Oh no, you said that the brother said that line. So
yeah, but we don't know who he's saying it to.
That's what I was going to say. Who is the brother saying that to? At what point in the film does this come up? And why does he say that about his sister?
I mean, really, I think we've already answered all these questions.
So?
I'm gonna go. I don't want to deviate from what we've already said. Leon is definitely saying this to this anatomy doll. He's definitely saying it about the anatomy doll potentially trying to sleep with Leon's sister. Now, I think the unplanned pregnancy obviously is afterwards. So I'm going to say that this is probably fairly early in the movie, first half of the second act.
You think that this doll sleep raped her?
Oh God.
And that's why it's unplanned?
Or do you think, because it is an anatomy doll, and I haven't seen this, you haven't seen this, it's an anatomy doll. So how anatomically correct is this doll?
Yeah, does it have semen?
but does it just have genitalia? And what I'm saying is that is the sister actually the one experimenting with the doll, thinking that it is just a dummy, right? Not realizing that it is actually in some ways alive.
She puts a picture of Johnny from school's face over the doll.
Exactly. Yeah. And she starts to kind of do weird gyrations on the doll. And of course, this is later in the film. So the doll's already tried to hit on Leon's sister, and Leon is aware of this. Yeah. That's where this line comes from. But I think later on, there is maybe a scene where the sister is kind of eyeing the naked male doll.
Yeah, she starts. We have she's riding it, and we have a close up on on the doll's mouth, which is just very kind of opened and
it's open for CPR.
Yeah, and then it slowly turns into a
grin. Yeah. And his eye twinkles, glistens a little bit,
and then rolls up into its head.
Oh God, yeah. So it's just a close up on the doll's face, basically during this moment.
Yeah. You hear her moans and stuff. Yeah, in the background.
And just for clarity, I'm going to say that all participants, human or otherwise, are over the age of 21 in this film. That's
yes.
what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Yes.
But I can definitely see that happening. Okay, so where do you think the woodpile tag comes in?
Yeah, I wondered that too, because whenever I think of an anatomy, doll or dummy or whatever, I don't think of it being made of wood.
Exactly. But I did read a tidbit, which I didn't include, that the title of this film is actually based off of Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering where the wood pile, because I agree. I picture like a plastic rubber, torso of sorts, with like organs you can kind of take in and out, and it shows where everything's located. I don't at all picture a wooden, unless again because his parents are strange. Maybe they made like a weird Pinocchio wooden boy anatomy doll. Maybe,
or maybe they just are strange and they just have a pile of wood in like
Dad's
fine. Study.
I'm fine with that. Okay, fine. But my question was, how does that play into the film? So if it is just a pile of wood in the study, why would it be important enough? Let's assume it is important enough to include in a plot detail.
Maybe to get the anatomy doll away from his sister, he fashions a wooden doll for the anatomy doll to fall in love
like a replacement, like this really shitty wooden doll.
Yeah.
It's like he's more attractive,
and he falls in love with the dummy. Falls in love with the wooden creation, but it's like, but the wooden one also
like a love triangle.
It's like because he doesn't know how to like create one of these things properly, so it's all kind of like janky and like.
Oh wait, the kid made this or the doll made this?
Yeah. The boy,
okay.
He made it to get the dummy away from his sister.
Okay, and then of course I think we have to finish this with I've already decided that I think this happens first half of the film. This line, I will not have my sister as a tramp. It is from Leon. I do think he is talking to the anatomy doll about his sister, of course. I think the doll has tried to hit on his sister, maybe vice versa. I don't know.
Like she's talking to her brother, and the anatomy doll is like kind of behind her, and it like tugs on her skirt or something, or like lifts it up slightly.
Right. Yeah. So we've already kind of figured all that out, and then we said that there is possibly a scene later on with an unplanned pregnancy. But my question is how does this movie end? Do we find out how this unplanned pregnancy happened? Does Leon find out? Does the doll reveal himself? Is there a scene from Maury?
she gives birth to this doll human.
Oh God!
Hybrid thing that like has like a plastic fake eye and like one real human eye that blinks.
Oh my God, that'd be so grotesque.
And it's fucking making like horrible sounds. I don't know.
I can just picture that's horrible. Okay, so is it actually like a baby size a human, or is it a miniature doll?
It's a human baby sized doll human hybrid where part of it is like plastic but part of it is also like human baby.
So one of the legs is like fat chubby baby leg and one of the legs is like
a straight
yeah like it only has like 2 hinge points. Okay.
And its head is stuck like to the side with its mouth open. Like,
is it the human side or like the plastic side that we see
side
first?
The plastic side, it's like its head is stuck in like a profile fashion, and it's the plastic side that's facing us where it, like you can see like the muscle and the tissue and stuff. Like it's very anatomical where you can see.
Do you think the strange parents deliver this baby? And are they accepting of it?
Yeah, and they're like this. This was what we wanted the whole time. So Leon is like, "Mom, you're so weird.
You're so strange. You're isolating me." Okay, what is the baby doll hybrid name? Because Pin is the father.
Yeah,
at least we think
it's Connie. Connie, the hybrid doll.
Why Connie? Because Pin is.
I don't know. Pinocchio. That's just the first name that came into my head.
Okay. Well, I was trying to think of something that maybe is like a little bit reminiscent of Pin's Pinocchio relation here, like the real boy.
It's named Plasticine.
It's named Ethyl, but it's short for polyethylene.
Oh yeah, and then we could have a whole sequel where it's
that's what I was going for.
the
Yeah.
coming of age, where like we follow Ethel going to school and like trying to and, like getting bullied by.
Oh
other
my
people.
gosh, is this like potentially the super early prequel to Megan?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, I'm seeing this. Okay, so we got Ethel, short for polyethylene.
The only difference with that Megan was an animatronic doll specifically.
Well, yeah, but I'm there's iterations of this thing as it grows and
M3 GAN. Yeah.
So is there another thing that I mean, Chucky would be a toy too, so it couldn't be that. But I do like the idea of like following Ethel as she ages and.
She grows up with like that one, like this one side of her face is like flat and like anatomically you can see like the muscle and tissue within her head, and she's in school and people are like poking it with pencils and stuff.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say like I'm pretty sure she would be homeschooled, but I'm picturing her like walking the halls with like lockers.
School.
Yeah, just in public.
Like the opening shot of the movie is like her.
First day of school.
Her in her locker, like we see her back and like we see like the back half of her body from behind the locker door that's open.
Hold on, wait. One more question.
Yeah.
Okay. Do the plastic parts grow with her, or is that one leg always just tiny and like it's just hanging there, like just flapping?
As much as I love that image and also thought of this whenever we talked about the baby being delivered, as much as I love that image in my head, I think that the parents like swap out with correct sized
interchangeable
plastic parts.
Okay, fine.
So we have like the opening scene where it's like her back, like the back of her body is visible from around the open locker, and so we're like profile coming down the hallway with like the locker door open so you can only see the back of her, and she closes the locker and it's like the human half, and so it looks like it's just a normal girl. But like two boys like walk by and they're like, oh, look at this, like Ethel the freak or some shit like that, and they like fuck with her, and you're like, what the fuck, like why? And she like puts her head like forehead against the locker when she closes the door,
and it clinks.
Yeah, there's like a clink, and then she turns around the other direction. We see that the other half with like the anatomically correct like inner half plastic of her head stuff. And like her like plastic left arm.
Yeah,
that's the opening shot of.
That's the opening shot. So okay, one last thing.
Polly in parentheses Ethel parentheses Een.
Okay. Oh God, I think we'll end it there. Oh,
what was that called again?
You gotta say it.
Yeah. What was that called again?
The next thing I was going to ask like, is she accepted at school? Like, does she have like, because there's always that thing where it's like, does she know that she's a hybrid human, or was she just told that she was in some like horrific accident and these are all like prosthetic, pieces? And then does she have like that friend group of like other sort of like socially awkward weirdos that kind of stick up for her and stuff like that? Like, or is she just
it's
an
okay,
outcast?
I'm different too.
Oh God.
No, that's why I saved that till we have the scene where she like comes home from school on her first day at school and she's like, Mother, why does everyone think I'm different? Like, why is nobody else like me? And whenever she talks, you hear like the clicking, like the clacking of like her teeth parts. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's Ethel.
I like how your title was pinned to Polly, parentheses, Ethel.
Like that. It's the full word, but the Ethel part is like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Aline.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congrats on surviving that episode.